Hey, guess what? We're talking about Incredibles 2, so if you're the kind of person who hates spoilers, why don't you just walk on out, because it's about 50 minutes of spoilers. Don't, don't get spoiled. Don't do it.
We're both playing Incredibles 2 and also reviewing the movie of it, because my wife loves movies.
I do. I love the movies.
Let's give a big welcome back to my wife.
Hi, I'm wife. It's been a while.
Who stopped playing video games with me to better herself.
I'm sorry. I was doing important things. Important work-related things.
Well, whatever.
Not this work-related other work-related stuff.
Anyway, we saw Incredibles 2. I enjoyed it. But my opinion doesn't matter because I enjoy almost everything.
Well, I mean,
you also enjoy almost everything.
Say.
But you watch 100 times more movies than me.
I do. I would by no means ever call myself an expert, but I love movies.
I wouldn't call you an expert, but I wouldn't call you a harsh critic, and I'd still call you a critic.
I'm like the softest critic that could ever exist. I don't even think I wrote down any critiques other than a few little nitpicky things.
I have critiques, but that's fine.
It's okay. You're the critic to my gushing over movies. I'll gush over all the movies.
Oh, first I want to point out this character, Tony Reidinger, the boyfriend. You can have him too.
What does he do?
Well, what is his special power, you say?
I want to know.
He screams. He just screams.
Okay, so he's like the Black Canary of this world, apparently.
Apparently.
Well, he's got the black shirt going on for him. It's funny because he didn't seem like a whiny little bitch in the
No, he was
movie.
rarely in there.
He was not in there enough at all.
Anyway, on to the movie.
Okay, so The Incredibles 2 came out, and we saw it, and I loved it. It was quite entertaining. It was wonderful. And I will be honest, The Incredibles, the first one, was not my favorite Pixar film. I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't one of those movies that I'm like, yeah, I feel like watching a Pixar movie. Let's watch Incredibles.
You have done that before.
What?
Like, hey, Lewis, I want to watch a Pixar movie. Will you
did.
watch Incredibles with me? And I'm like, sure, I've never seen it.
Well, that's because I was just in the mood to watch Incredibles. I think I had actually just seen a advertisement for The Incredibles 2, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen Incredibles in a long time, so let's do that. Let's watch The Incredibles.
I just stole that dude's car.
You did. You're not a very good hero. Oh, and that is not an aquatic vehicle. You just destroyed that person's vehicle.
I'm so happy about it. That doesn't look good. I'm so happy about it.
It's okay. It's Tommy. He's allowed to be a big poop head. Anyway, so The Incredibles was not my favorite. I very much enjoyed it, and I was happy to watch it whenever I had the chance. But I was not I wasn't one of those people like, yeah, sequel. I was like, oh, a sequel. Cool. I was a little hyped, but not like, in your face, I'm gonna punch you hyped.
There was so many people at the theaters that were, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, we went to the theaters 2 days later, and it was, I think, about 30 minutes before the next showing of Incredibles 2, and they were already sold out, so apparently everybody's super excited about this, I agree for.
You would think that they were never publicly humiliated for loving a kids' movie.
But they were. It was great. Anyway, from the trailers of The Incredibles 2, my expectations were, I knew it was going to be an Incredibles movie. I was expecting to see lots of family dynamic superhero fighting, and I was like, oh great, they're going to fight together and stuff, and obviously from the trailer we got the couple of plot points where, the mother, Elastigirl, would have to do superheroing on her own, and the dad, Mr. Incredible, would have to be daddy, homemaker 2000.
The stereotypical sitcom dad.
Yes, exactly.
Who's got a dad for the first time.
He's gotta be a big old parent for the first time in forever. So, I knew that they were going to touch on gender roles, and there was obviously going to be an evil villain that was revealed in one of the trailers to be Screenslaver, which, to me, looks like, can I reference the video game?
You can reference the video game. I don't know what video game, but yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah.
Screenslaver.
It's fucking Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid. And so I was like, okay, that's going to be the villain. That's great. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of mislead, but we won't get into that just yet. Also, spoiler alert, I didn't say that at all. I'm so sorry. Well, at this point, it's spoiler alert.
I'll put a thing.
Brr,
I'll do a
thing.
thing.
Anywho. So
The thing's going to be at the beginning. So.
Yeah. So,
Oh
going
no,
in...
public transportation has failed me.
Well, I mean, you should never trust public transportation. It's scary. That also happened in the movie. You should not trust public transportation.
Oh, yeah.
In one part of the movie, a new advanced high-speed train got runned away and nearly killed a whole bunch of people, but was saved magically by Elastigirl.
Yeah!
Because technology
Elastic powers.
betrayed us. They betrayed them.
Yeah. Everyone's a slave to the screens.
Yeah, that's another
What
point.
a weird message for a movie that seems to take place in the 80s to do.
Yeah. we established through our talkings of it, because in the movie they have old-timey cars. The remote controls and telephones are those big bulky ones with the giant buttons, and the televisions are big tubes, like television tubes like that were from the 50s and 60s. So after a little bit of research, we found out that they based off the design of people and the whole area and the universe that the Incredibles are in is from the 80s, which is like one of the golden age of
I want to
heroes.
stress a very little bit.
Okay.
Of research.
A very minimal amount of
literally
research.
only heard someone say it takes place in the 80s.
See, I thought it was like going to be, from what I see, I feel 60s era, but 50s, 60s, just because some of the hairstyles are also more primped and put together like that of the 50s and 60s. But either way, I just thought that was interesting that they have that era going on. What was I saying? Oh, the train. Oh, and the message. I wrote down talking points, but I'm all over the place.
Let's try and get to those.
I will. Okay, we got to that one. Check mark. So, to the message that was kind of being posed by the evil villain of the movie, Screenslaver. Oh, let's see what...
No, go
Jane
on.
Johnson?
Go on.
Oh,
That's
we sure?
fine.
Okay.
Ignore this.
Okay, we're gonna ignore this lady with her pretty hair and her nice suit and that
You're
giant
doing the best
pencil.
you can to not ignore it.
Anyway, so the Screenslaver, in the movie, it's revealed that he has the ability to hypnotize anybody who's watching a screen. Hypnotize! So, basically, the underlying message that he reveals in a monologue, because evil villains be monologuing. They be monologuing all over the place. He was like, "Oh, you're consumers, you're slaves to the consumption of shows and movies.
Digital media!
Of all the digital media in an era of the 80s when media was not exactly digital, but whatever.
Those blasted millennials!
And I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, Disney, a corporation that makes, like, the majority of all of its income off of producing consumable...
Well, think about what you're saying here.
Yeah.
Disney's saying, hey, look at all this consumerism and how it's bad. They're having their villain say that.
Yeah, their villain
So
is
it's
saying
actually not that weird of them.
I guess not. It's like, oh, don't listen to this villain. This villain says that you're slaves to the screens, but you're really not. Keep watching. Keep watching all of the things that we make for our consumers.
Love us.
Love us.
Buy all their playsets and toys.
Consume all of our things. I just thought that was funny that a Disney movie put that message in there. Even though it was by a villain, it's still, it's... People can, interpret that as a true message. Hey, screens. There were slaves to the screens. Listen to Screenslaver.
There's nothing you can do.
They'll be hypnotized. Anyway, so focusing on Screenslaver, the basic story and plot of the movie, Lewis claims that it is basically a rehashing of the first plot. It has very...
I wouldn't say it's a rehashing.
It's not the exact same,
I would just
though.
say that
it's very similar.
The exact same thing.
It's not the exact same thing. It's very similar.
It's basically the exact same thing.
Okay. We all know what happened in the first one. The secret guy, who was revealed later to be evil, was like, "Hey, Mr. Incredible, help me save my research. I want you to do some superhero work. So fight this robot and blah blah blah. I want to use you as a superhero. Blah blah blah." That was their only motivation. They just wanted to use Mr. Incredible to protect their research facility. There was no other motivation, no other end goal for the corporation before it was revealed to be evil.
There was an end goal for that corporation.
What was the end goal? Because I don't remember.
To kill all the superheroes,
No,
so he could be the only
that was
superhero.
the evil goal. That was not the pretend goal.
Oh, that was just to
Exactly. You don't
make
even remember.
robots stronger.
That was no because they hired him specifically. The white-haired chick hired Mr. Incredible to destroy the robot so they could protect their research facility, and that was all they wanted. They just said, "Hey, we just need your heroing. We need you to, do your super strong, awesome stuff." That's all they wanted. Whereas this movie, which I love that The Incredibles 2 picked up literally right after the first one ended. So, and the end sequence when that giant screw comes up from underground and it's the Underminer! Okay. The Underminer comes back! Or it picks up literally right from that sequence. And then they do their thing, and they're all getting ready to fight, and lots of destruction happens, and Violet has a tantrum because she's stuck with watching Jack the baby.
She's a teenager.
Because she's a teenager, and she throws her mask on the ground that only covers, 10% of her face, and her boy Tommy sees her and is like, "Oh my god, she's a superhero!"
Well,
and then
it's superhero related.
Yeah. Anyway.
How am I supposed to deal with this? Go on.
So she has a little tantrum, and, I see that you're playing, the guy from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Nick Nolte.
No, Nick Fury. We'll get to that later. So, anywho's, they fight the Underminer. Underminer causes a whole bank to fall underneath a big cavern of nothing, because apparently he's just dug underneath the mine perfectly, and then the whole bank falls down underground so he can rob it and take all the stuff. Mr. and Mrs. Incredible try to stop him, and he gets away, and they do not stop him from stealing all the money, which is very sad. And then Mr. Incredible and his whole family gets arrested because at this point in the storyline, which I'm assuming is about a couple of days, if not a full week or so, from when the first main battle happened, when they destroyed that big robot.
It felt almost immediate when I went back to watch it to make sure some other stuff we'll bring up later.
Yeah. So, it's fair to assume that, because we knew in the first movie that superheroes were illegal, or they were told, "Hey, we don't want you anymore, superheroes are illegal," or illegal. So after in the first movie they destroyed the giant big black ball robot, a few days later, the Underminer's here, we're going to stop him, but they do it unsuccessfully and do lots and lots of property damage, which is always so very frustrating for city people to deal with. Those poor city managers, what are they going to do?
They're going to die.
They might die, I don't know. So they get arrested, and it's very sad. And apparently the agency that normally helps them out, that guy who's always I don't know what his character name was, but...
Ricker or Dicker or something?
The guy with the deep voice that was "I'll move your family again. We're going to protect your family."
Ding.
Rick-a-dick-dong-dong-ding. Anyway, that agency was apparently shut down. They're "Oh, we don't want to help you anymore. We can't help you. So you're on your own. We can't relocate your family.
Get out of here.
You're in trouble.
You're not wanted anymore."
So they end up going to a hotel called the Safari Hotel. The Safari Court, which I always think is cute, that all hotels in movies have themes. There's always a theme to them, because hotels can't just be normal, unless you're watching Home Alone, any of the Home Alone movies, because then they have normal hotels, big fancy hotels. Well, actually, I guess being fancy is a theme for a hotel.
Yes.
In my opinion. Anyway.
It's called fancy.
All hotels have themes in movies, and I think real hotels should have themes. I wish there were more hotels with themes.
Too bad.
I want a Halloween-themed hotel, or an aqua-themed hotel. Like in the Goofy movie, their hotel was aqua-themed. They had water beds with actual fish in them, and their bed frame was a seashell, which was great.
They sold it by the seashore.
Yeah. So anyway, they're in the hotel, and they talk. Mr. Incredible go to the side of the pool, because that's where adults have serious conversations, is by a poolside, always.
It's the only place to, yeah.
Yes, the only place to have a serious talk is right by a poolside. And they're okay, well, either you get a job or I get a job. And Mrs. Incredible, what is her actual name? Helen. Her name is Helen.
That's it. Thanks, Internet.
Helen
Shit.
Is hey, you went to the private industry network, whatever, last time. It's my turn. Let me do it. And Bob responds, "No, I have to do this." which
Because
because
stuff.
man stuff, where we start touching on the roles of people, all the rules, the men roles and the lady, the gender roles. The man has to earn the money for the family and make a living for the family, while the woman takes care of the children.
It certainly isn't the case here.
No,
I do all this payless YouTube shit, and then you make all the money.
I am your sugar mama. That is absolutely how this relationship works. And you make me sandwiches.
I make you so many sandwiches.
You do make me sandwiches.
You make me sandwiches too, though. So
I mean, when it's your birthday.
I guess it pays off. Only my birthday, though. That's the only time I'm allowed to eat.
Yeah.
Gotta stay thin.
Oh boy, you're a long way from being thin.
Well, whatever. Don't make fun of me.
I love you. Anyway, stop distracting me. So they're moping and talking about getting stuff done. And basically, Frozone, during the whole Underminer thing, was approached by some secret guy who works for a very high-tech corporation called DevTech. There's always a super secret, unknown...
Saul Goodman.
Yeah, the actor who plays Saul Goodman, whose name I can't remember.
Saul Goodman.
We're just going to call him Saul Goodman, approaches Frozone.
And then, I'm not sure.
And then Frozone comes later, right by the poolside at night, when Helen and Bob are talking about what they're going to do, because they got to get a job, or else they're on the street with their 3 kids. He's like, hey man, I got to... he comes in a black trench coat, and I'm like, it's freaking Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D.
His intro was exactly Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D.
It really was. He just kind of approached from the shadows in a dark trench coat, in that Samuel L. Jackson voice that he has, because that is who he is, and was just like, hey, I can help you. Or just, I don't remember the exact line, but it was Nick Fury, 100%. So then, of course, everybody has trench coats in the superhero world, so Bob and Helen...
It's the only way to get around.
Yeah, if you don't have a trench coat, you're not living.
If you don't have a trench coat, are you really even trying to flash people?
Yeah. So basically, they meet Saul Goodman and his sister, Evelyn, who you meet as this... Evelyn turns out to be this clumsy, smart person. And right away, when I saw that character, I'm like, Evelyn, she's coming in all clumsy, she's kind of in the background a little bit. She is evil.
Well, I mean, look at her name.
Evelyn.
It's Evelyn.
We should have seen it right away. Anywho, so I totally called that. She ends up being evil, by the way. And I called it. I called it right away. Yeah, you're being evil right now. Why are you making Samuel L. Jackson evil? That's not nice. That's racist.
Because I can.
That's fair. Anywho, so basically Saul Goodman's like, hey, I want heroes to be legal again because they did so good and they helped my family. And one thing that definitely cued me in on Evelyn being evil, or like confirmed my suspicion,
was when she came out as an evil person.
No. So Saul Goodman goes into a flashback about his dad who worshipped these 2 specific heroes, and then there was this one time, apparently, after heroes had been illegal, he had 2 phones that were direct lines to these heroes. So he still had these in service, even though heroes were illegal. Apparently some robbers broke into their house, and he tried to call the heroes on the direct line. And that they didn't help, because obviously heroes were illegal, so the robbers killed them, and they were both dead.
The heroes were like, that's what you get for making us illegal.
Yeah.
Humans.
So Saul
we'll
Goodman,
never help you again.
Yeah. So Saul Goodman's character's just like, and I was, if they had just been there, very dark and angry, they could have saved my mom and dad. And then Evelyn chimes in from the back, well, maybe Dad should have just called the police or gone to the safe zone. That's
the shelter. That's what clued you in that she was
I was like,
evil person.
She is not on board with saving heroes.
You know what clued me in that she was the evil person? When I first saw her.
No, that I called it. Don't try to call my calling it.
I called it. I just didn't call it verbally.
Oh, I called it.
My thought process exactly was, okay, Saul Goodman's going to be the evil guy. Then the sister comes like, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, with Disney films these days, that's relatively predictable. I mean, anybody could have called that. Oh, hey, Evelyn's the evil person. Evelyn.
Evil Lynn.
Evil Lynn, and that might not even be her actual character name. I'm gonna check 1 second.
It's Evelyn. Yeah.
Okay. I believe you. Anyway, so basically, Evelyn and Saul Goodman are like, hey, we want to have a body cam on one of you heroes, and Elastigirl, you're the best choice. And Bob's like, no, rah, and Helen's like, but
I'm the man, says Bob.
Yeah, Bob, is having real issues with Helen doing the hero work when he wanted to do it for show.
I have to say, I thought it was going to get real preachy on the gender role thing.
I was afraid that it was too, but
but it handled it pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was not like completely in your face. It was I felt like they handled it really well. They still addressed the gender role issue, and swapped it.
They gave it the 2 minutes it deserved, and then they kept everything pretty normal.
Yeah, they just treated the rest of the movie like these were characters, and not just treating them like that they're just genders. They treated them like characters, like you're supposed to. So they tell Helen, hey, you're going to be Elastigirl, here's your new suit, you're going to patrol the city and help the cops, and they basically want to get Elastigirl to show what's going on from their perspective, so that they can get good press to, make heroes legal again, because Saul really wants heroes to be legal again. So, 2 things here and there, Screenslaver, he hijacked that train, he hijacks a helicopter, and then he doesn't do anything else, because then Helen / Elastigirl tracks him down and gets him. But then he ends up being a pizza guy, so I'm thinking, that pizza guy's not a Screenslaver. That pizza guy just wants
pizza time.
Okay. Did you go through literally all of that just to get to the pizza time meme?
No, but I remember that was something we were going to do. Pizza time. Anyway, so turns out the pizza guy was hypnotized by the mask. There's 2 screens on the goggles that hypnotized him, because screens. Oh, that's a bomb.
Because we're all slaves to the media.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Oh, Batman.
The best superhero. Adam West Batman, to be specific. The best of all the Batmans. You just destroyed that bomb with water. That's not how bombs work.
No, of course. They just immediately fall to pieces. Bombs are water soluble.
It's true. I did not know that, but it's true. Anywho, Helen, of course, finds out that, hey, there's screens here, and then, of course, she's with Evelyn, conveniently, so Evelyn puts the screen goggles on her face and hypnotizes her. And while all this is going on, Bob is dealing with parenting for the first time. Although, when Bob and Helen were first discussing the decision for her to go back into heroing, Helen was...
Hey, puppy, shut up. It's just thunder.
Calm down. Anyway, she was like, hey, there's a lot to worry about here. Dash has homework that I don't understand, I have to help him with. Well, she didn't say that, but she probably wouldn't understand it either way. Violet is going through teenageness. She's a prepubescent teen.
She's having adolescence.
She's having adolescence. And Jack, which apparently they didn't know he had powers yet. I don't understand how they didn't know he had powers yet, but apparently they didn't see that he had powers when he was falling from the sky and doing all the power stuff from the first movie. So when...
Well, I looked back at that.
Yeah.
And the only time he used his powers was just with the babysitter or when he was super far away with, what's his name, Syndrome?
Syndrome, yeah.
And that's the only time that got used.
Syndrome is
So they possibly couldn't have seen him.
Yeah. And Syndrome is a terrible name for a superhero. It's a name of an illness.
Yeah, well, he's a disease.
He was a disease, and the Incredibles were the cure.
Okay, go on.
Anyway. So Bob's dealing with, teenagers being teenagers. Oh, by the way, Tommy got his mind wiped, like MIB style. Except instead of a little flashy light, they did a suction cup on his brain.
Yeah, unimportant detail.
I thought it was a funny detail. Just...
Oh, yeah, it's a funny detail. Just unimportant.
Well, it was important to me. I made a specific note about it.
Okay.
Suction cup. So, Violet had apparently scheduled a date with Mr. Tommy. And when his memory was wiped, his memory of her was wiped entirely, so he didn't remember that. So when he stood her up and she approached him about it, he was like, oh, hi! Who are you? And of course, she's all heartbroken and sad. And then she finds out that Bob told the guy with
He
told and was mad that he's the reason why Tommy forgot her. It was very sad. And then Bob tried to make it better by inviting them all to go to the restaurant where Tommy works, and then she ends up spitting a crap ton of water out of her nose. It's very embarrassing. She will not recover from that socially. Ever again. What? Anyway. So Bob is dealing with that and dealing with eventually he does discover that the baby has powers. Was that before or after the raccoon fight?
It was during the raccoon fight.
Jack gets into an epic battle with a raccoon. What?
I'm not supposed to take it there.
You're
not supposed to take it to the water.
What are you supposed to do with it?
Put it in an equally ineffective place.
Oh, okay. Well, you're doing terrible.
Yeah.
You're being so bad at being a superhero. I love you. Anyway, so Jack has an epic fight with a raccoon, which I thought was hilarious. Oh, and the reason why he thought he wanted to fight the raccoon is because he was watching television and there was a movie on with a robber with a little mask, a little black mask, and so Jack's watching that and he sees the raccoon and he's like, oh my god, it's a robber, but in furry form.
That's racist, by the way.
What? What part of that is racist to you? Anyway.
The whole thing.
I just thought it was adorable. And the raccoon actually held his own against Jack, even with the crazy amount of powers.
The raccoon was fighting a baby.
Yeah, the raccoon was fighting a baby. I'm just saying, I mean, it's a baby that has, like, several superpowers.
It's still a baby.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I shouldn't give the raccoon too much power. Even Voldemort struggled to kill a baby.
Okay, well, Syndrome couldn't hold on to a baby or deal with a baby, and he was a relatively, capable young man.
Oh, the baby caught him by surprise.
Well, I'm sure the raccoon was caught by surprise when a baby was shooting laser beams and multiplying.
Also, he didn't get beaten by a baby.
He just
dropped the baby.
Oh, Syndrome dropped the baby. Okay, that's fair. Anyway, I'm just saying, give the raccoon some credit, okay? Give the raccoon a little credit.
We've given the raccoon enough time on this review.
All right, that's enough. The rest of the movie's pretty predictable.
The basics of that rant is, for first time daddy was doing first time dad job.
Yeah.
Just as bad as you'd expect.
Yeah, of course. Because
but at least
dads.
trying, and working mom was doing working mom stuff.
Exactly. And what was frustrating, or one thing I did notice was, like, at the very beginning of their decision, oh, Helen, you go be Elastigirl and make this movement happen because I want to become a superhero again, so you do this so that I can be a superhero and be a man again later. And then
I'm a man!
And Bob's like, oh yeah, I can handle the house stuff, and Helen's like, oh, you're too funny. You're too cute. Which I'm like,
that's
really?
Stupid.
Why would you do that, woman? I mean, he's your husband. I get it. And the thing is, yes, it's going to be difficult for Bob to take over parenting because he hasn't had to be a full-time dad ever. She's had, 16 years of experience? So yeah, she knows her shit. So give the man a little bit of credit because he's still trying and he has had no experience with it. So, give the man a break. He's doing his best. Stop making irritating comments like, oh, you're so cute. Oh, it's not going to be that hard. Oh, we'll see. You're just irritating, butthead. Anyway, so that frustrated me. And then there was one scene when Bob is calling Helen just to see how she is, and she's like, I saved a trade! Like, she's just, like, full-on orgasming, or just getting ridiculously excited over...
I did think that was... Yeah, she got excited for doing a good job, but then Bob is all like, man, I wish my family was failing right now.
It was... And he was getting so jealous. Like, ridiculously jealous about all this. Like, he turned on the television and saw all these stories about Elastigirl saving the day. Elastigirl did this, and he got so jelly. And I'm like, okay, come on, man, get over yourself. You'd be proud of your wife for being an awesome superhero. Of course, he does eventually get over himself, but still. And what was extra frustrating is that Helen, like, immediately assumed that something was wrong at the home. And she's like, oh, do I need to come back? And he's like, no, I've got it.
Well, that's just parents in general.
I guess so. I mean, maybe just general parental paranoia. He can't
How
walk
did he
through
get up
stuff.
here so fast?
He's Frozo, and he can, like, fly with ice and stuff.
Yeah, but you can't fly that fast.
Ice flying. It's ice flying.
Okay.
It's the golden brick! There's magic. There were not golden bricks in the movie.
There was not golden bricks in the movie.
No, spoiler alert again. There were no golden bricks that I remember in the movie. Anywho.
You're getting distracted by the game.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted by the game while I'm trying to talk about the movie while the game is going on. So, Bob, he's doing the parent thing, and he eventually, after a couple of times of not getting the math, because math changes, and he freaked out about the math, the thing from the previews. It's like, why do they change math? I don't understand.
He after so long of not getting the math, he decides to learn the math.
Actually, he took time, woke up early, or stayed up late, whichever, and actually grabbed the book and learned the math so he can help his son learn the math. And then he did the math. And then he, talked to the daughter and did daughter things. And as far as Jack, he kind of, he just dropped off the baby at Edna's and said, hey.
This is your problem now.
Yeah. Well, that's not how it started.
No, that's how it is.
It was more so Edna decided to take the baby because she was like, oh shit, this baby's got like 1,000 different powers.
Please run experiments on my baby.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I can experiment with so many superhero fashions and costuming and stuff.
Please potentially put my baby through chaos.
Yeah, so he just leaves the baby with her. So this whatever, I'm going to assume like 50, 60-year-old woman who, as far as I can tell, has had no experience with babies. He just leaves Jack with her for the purpose of making clothing for the baby. Super clothing. It was very funny. Anywho, so Bob, learns and becomes a good parental unit, and does his thing, and then of course both the parents get in jeopardy, of course, and get hypnotized. Oh, because Bob's dick was compromised.
Yeah.
He tries to help Helen because he gets a call from Evelyn, the evil Lynn, and she's all like, hey, Helen's in trouble, something's wrong with her. This was right after she got hypnotized, of course. And then Bob is fighting Helen. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then she just stops.
She kisses him on his face, and then he's all like, ah, yes, my penis. And then he gets beaten.
He gets goggles slapped on him and hypnotized. So anyway, the rest of the movie kind of pans out exactly how you would think. The supervillain sort of reveals her plan, and by other people intervening, they save the day, and the day is saved. And heroes are legalized and all that good jazz.
It's all one big metaphor for weed.
I guess. I did not think about that.
It's not at all.
No,
it's not at all that.
No, it's not. Anyway, I really liked it. I thought it was better than the first one. I very much enjoyed it. Oh, another cute thing that I really enjoyed about this movie. Stop being mean.
No, I'm judging you. It's fine.
That's okay. Before the movie played, there was this very small clip of the various actors and writers and directors. Basically just a little compilation of like little behind-the-scenes things. You saw some of the actors doing their voice acting, some of the writers and the artists doing their sketch work. They're like, hey, thank you for your patience. We know it's been 14 years. We're aware. It takes a long time to make a movie. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Just every one of them just saying, thank you for waiting.
It's always nice when they're willing to make fun of themselves.
Oh, yeah. I really appreciated that.
They probably weren't working on that movie for so many years.
No, they definitely weren't. Like, it didn't take that long for the Toy Story sequels to come out. I mean,
all
three of them.
Two
sequels. Sorry,
all two of them.
Sorry. Anyway, it does take a long time to make movies, but it doesn't take 14 years. But anyway, I really appreciated that. Them acknowledging, hey, sorry it took so long. Thanks for your patience. Enjoy the movie. And we did. I really did like it. 10 out of 10. It was great.
So, even though I enjoyed the movie, it did what it's supposed to do as a movie and entertained me.
Yes.
Again, there wasn't that much new and cool that movie was doing. It just rehashed a similar plot.
I mean, it was similar, but okay, it wasn't as bad as what the Star Wars movies did. I still hold to that.
It rehashed a similar plot.
It wasn't as bad.
And it was just it just felt like a cheap cash grab to me.
I mean...
Again, I enjoyed it.
Oh, you wrote that down.
Yeah, I wrote that down. That was going in there. But, yeah, it just felt like a cheap cash grab to me.
I mean, I'm not denying the fact that it was. I mean, it was a cash grab. They were like, hey, we're making good money. Let's make more money.
That being said, as is Pixar is known to do, great animation, but boy, does it make the first movie look like dog poo in comparison.
Yeah, 14 years is such a difference when it comes to animation quality.
Those 3D animations do not age well. They never do.
No, in fact, what we're looking at now, that was basically the first movie. I'm being silly.
That's being insulting to the game.
I'm being today. Oh!
I mean, do you remember watching the first Toy Story after we watched the third one?
Yeah, it was so awful.
It just looked haunting.
It just looked like
soulless monsters.
Some college kids animation project.
So I guess they would be soulless monsters being toys that are alive.
Exactly. Anywho. We went over most of our other talking points. I thought it was irritating that Jack had so many powers.
I thought it was irritating that Jack got that much time.
He got so much time.
I guess that's the other thing they wanted to do with that movie.
Just
cute baby,
adorable little baby. I mean, he was okay. He wasn't like there are cuter babies.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It was entertaining enough.
Yeah, he was.
But,
like I said, the fight with the raccoon, I could watch that all day. It was hilarious.
That was a good bit.
It was very well done.
Then they'll just make a movie in the future where it's Jack versus his arch nemesis,
Raccoon.
Rocket.
Oh, Rocket Raccoon, because they'll be in the same universe. It's possible.
Yeah, fucking Incredibles is a Marvel property.
If Jack was born in the 80s and he'll be like 30 something in the 2000s. That'll be around the time that the Guardians of the Galaxy return back to Earth.
They did it. They'll have their fight now.
He will have his fight with Rocket.
We'll have the showdown we've all been waiting for the past week.
The whole week. That's what we've been wanting.
Well,
but I absolutely do want to see them change Jack into a villain. Because that would be a great dynamic to see.
That's a weird thing to want.
Because it would be very interesting to see this lovable, adorable baby become the evil villain that has to be taken down by his loving family.
I suppose so. It would be interesting to see. Yes, it's out of nowhere.
Not necessarily. I mean, there are other plot devices that could be put in place to cause that to happen.
Well, as it is right now, it's out of nowhere. That would have to be a fourth or fifth movie.
I'm not saying it has to be the exact next sequel.
I know. But let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
That would be a fourth or fifth movie thing that they would have to do to make that make sense. Mm-hmm. And I doubt that they're going to do another one.
That's fair. I don't... At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I won't be disappointed if they don't. Because like I said, I love these movies, but I'm not like, oh my god, I need another one. I don't gush over The Incredibles. This is a very well-made movie. I very much enjoyed it. But it's not like Up. I wish they made a sequel to Up. I know they can't make a sequel to Up because it was finished. It's done. But I loved Up. Up was great. Oh my god, Up was the best.
They'll just make that one meme photo that I saw. Just called it Down, and it was a grave plot.
Oh no. Well, I mean, they could potentially make a sequel with him passing and the little Boy Scout boy, carrying on his legacy and returning or traveling more with the house. I don't know.
Suppose it wouldn't be out of Up's general theme of opening up with sad stuff.
Yeah, it could open up the exact same way. I just don't really know where the plot would go from there. I mean, again, I know that they really can't ever make a sequel to that, but that's one movie that I absolutely loved.
They could make a sequel to it. It just wouldn't be any good.
No, it wouldn't. I totally acknowledge that. Anyway, they could totally make Jack evil. Or Violet evil. I mean, she's already angsty enough. She could potentially become evil. She could be twisted. Teenagers are easy to manipulate.
Yeah, but then you get plots as convoluted as The Flash or Arrow.
Oh, God, I know. Ugh. I will say that one thing that The Incredibles did, at least in my opinion, is I feel like they were one of the first hero movies that kind of flagshipped the rest of the hero movies to come out. Because it seemed like after that, hero movies were coming out left and right, and it led the way for other great and loved movies that we didn't get to enjoy.
Did that start? Did
I mean, I don't know the timeline, but
superhero movies do it first.
Well, maybe Disney was just playing off of the other movies.
They were probably like, hey, you know what kids like? Batman. You know what they'd like even more? A family of Batmans. But let's not make them Batman. Let's just make them an average family that has powers that aren't allowed to use them. Because vigilantes are bad.
Vigilantes are bad.
What am I doing wrong here? I'm doing everything wrong here.
Yeah, you are. Anywho. It probably didn't come out before all the other hero movies, but it came out at the right time when it did come out. And maybe it was just Disney playing off of the hype of superhero movies, but I like to give it a little bit of credit for, saying, hey, superhero movies are ballin'. Let's keep this ball rolling. Haha, pun intended. Get it? Ball
terrible
rolling.
Pun. What a terrible
ball.
Pun. Why are we married?
I'm so punny.
Why have you done this to me?
I'm so punny.
No. No more.
Anyway.
Never married again.
Oh, you'll be married to me forever. I can't think of anything else to say. I know we want Jack to be evil. I want Jack to be evil. Oh, the little details in the movie that we super duper appreciated.
So there was a bit when they're opening up that monorail, and I don't know what is it, the mayor or something
of the city.
He's talking through the microphone. He just moves a little bit away from the microphone, and it just gets a little quieter. And I appreciate stupid small stuff like that. Leave me alone. Don't judge me. I love it.
No, I loved it too. I didn't even notice it.
No, I'm telling them.
I know. Yeah,
Screw you guys. Stop judging me.
You're allowed to judge him if you want to.
No.
But I love details like that too, because it shows, one, that the movie makers care about what they're doing and they're paying attention to these little details, and they're putting in the effort to make the movie believable and just engaging. Like watching, being able to tell, hey, with my audible senses, that hey, the voice is going in and out because he's moving closer and further away from the microphone. That normally movies don't pay attention to stuff like that. At least you don't see it. And this isn't really a small detail, but I in the beginning of all Disney Pixar films, they always have the Cinderella's castle, with a little shooting star thing over it. Well, in the beginning of The Incredibles, they had the castle, but instead of it being the normal, kind of night theme, they changed the whole color palette and whole design so it looked like it was a comic book from The Incredibles. Like, how The Incredibles opens.
I didn't catch that.
Well, you were in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You went to the bathroom.
Was I in the bathroom, or was I getting a drink?
You were probably refilling our soda.
I had to fill up that soda.
Anyway.
We get a large drink before every movie, and then we drink it down 8 times because we're horrible, horrible monsters who don't care about our bodies.
We care. We just care less when we're in the theater.
I'll die at age 30. I don't care.
Anyway, I like that they changed the design of the castle to match the the title screen of Incredibles. That is, you know what I mean. It was black and white, and it looked kind of
all over.
Yeah. And instead of being a 3D model, it was like a comic book-esque, very cartoony. And I just liked it. I like little details like that to tie in, to get you into the movie, but still, doing its normal beginning credit things, which was super fun.
Yeah.
Very, very enjoyable. What else?
Can I just say how ridiculous the plot was?
It wasn't bad.
Well, the goal of the main evil villain.
Okay, the actual goal.
Okay,
we didn't get to that actually.
The goal of the main evil villain was to make superheroes illegal forever. Which was established to have pretty much already happened at the beginning.
Yeah, but
when they ruined the city and are like, well, I guess it's forever now.
Okay, well, think about it this way. Evelyn's goal she doesn't want to have heroes at all because in her mind heroes make us weak. That's why her father died, because instead of calling the police or going to their safe room where they had a panic room that they could have gone to.
Yeah.
He tried to reach out to heroes because he was so used to relying on them, and he trusted them. In her mind, relying on heroes makes normal citizens weak. So she wanted to eliminate heroes permanently so that the people would never have to be weakened by them and could, live normal functioning lives.
But
in the first movie, heroes were made illegal. well, think about it this way. There was already press out. Go ahead.
So, to go back before you interrupted me, the city got destroyed.
Yes.
And they're pretty much like, yeah, that's it. That's it. Heroes are going to be illegal forever now. And, Devlin goes to them and is all like, hey, guys, let's make heroes not illegal again by doing all this body cam shit and making you out to be the good guys again. And then, the sister's fully backing this plan with her intent to make heroes illegal forever.
Yes.
She didn't have to back the plan.
She
He
could have
needed her to
sabotaged
do
it
that.
from the beginning. You're absolutely right.
She could have just not done anything.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
there we go. We go through all the work. We get heroes legit legalized. It's like a big betrayal time.
yeah. I mean,
Here's the plot reveal.
I get that it was a little convoluted, but think about it this way, yes, they had some bad press in the very beginning of the second movie because of what happened with the Underminer and destroying the city, but they were already coming off of good press because of what happened from the first movie. At least I assume so. So Saul Goodman...
It was all in secret for the most part.
I mean...
For the most part.
For the most part, but basically Saul saw that, hey, there's an opportunity for us to show that heroes are needed again. Let's capitalize on that. So maybe Evelyn knew that, whether with or without her help, he was going to be able to do that because he had a gigantic amount of resources. So either way, Saul Goodman's character probably could have gotten it done even without Evelyn's tech, even without Evelyn's help. So she thought, okay, well, I'm going to take control of the situation, follow what he wants, and make this happen, and then at the end, I'm going to do such a big switch that they'll never trust heroes again.
I mean,
she
maybe.
orchestrated it so that she could make an even bigger impact on them by giving, saying, we're going to build these heroes up like Saul wants, and then super betray them so that they'll never ever trust heroes again. So at least that's how I explain the convoluted, completely unnecessary stuff that she did. I acknowledge what you're saying is true. Evelyn could have just said, I'm not going to help, and then it's never going to happen. But she probably, at least in my opinion, saw, hey, this is probably going to happen either way, so let me make sure it happens, and then I can screw it up.
Well, here's another thing to it then.
Yes.
She designed the costumes for the superheroes.
Yes.
Why wouldn't she immediately already include the goggles to that?
I don't know. Maybe so she wouldn't tip her hand and reveal that she's the screen slaver right away. Maybe she was trying to be careful.
That wouldn't necessarily have revealed her hand.
Maybe she didn't think that they would be so resistant right away. Maybe she thought that she could... I don't know. Maybe she should have, but she didn't. Maybe that was one mistake. She just wasn't that smart.
Yeah, one mistake.
Maybe she can only... I don't have an answer for that. That's something that's one thing wrong with the movie.
That's one of the gripes that I can remember.
Yeah, one.
Oh, is there more that I had?
No, I can't think of anything else other than I was mad that they didn't remember that Jack had powers. Although they sort of explained that. I get it. He was up in the air. He was super high up. He stopped using his powers when they got him. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's whatever. But I don't think I had any other nitpicky things on it.
What would you rate this movie?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yes.
I have a feeling that if we do more movie reviews, we're gonna get a lot of 10 out of 10s.
I am easy to please. I did not say that I was a good movie critic, or even that I'd actually criticize the movie. That I will be happy to talk about it and give my opinion and I don't know, just talk about this movie. 10 out of 10.
I would give it an 11 out of 10.
Overrated?
Overrated.
Yeah, it was just too good for its own good. Too good for its own good. Too awesome for its own good. But overall, it was very good.
I guess so, yeah.
So how are you enjoying this video game that we're actually playing?
It's a video game.
It looks very fun, actually. Because this is just the open world aspect of it. Like, you're not going into actual storyline.
I avoided the story stuff for the most part on purpose.
So that we could let me talk about it forever.
Apparently, cop cars are boats.
I was about to say, yeah, cop cars are aquatic friendly, but other civilian cars are not.
I don't know. but I stole that cop car from a cop.
You did.
Heroes should be illegal.
Terrible. Do you get in trouble with the police?
No.
They're just chill.
What are they gonna do? Fight me?
Apparently, this video game doesn't acknowledge that superheroes are illegal.
Well, why would they? It's a kid's game.
I don't know.
She's not old enough to drive.
No, she might be 16. Maybe she has a learner's permit. Well, then she'd have to have a driver with her. Okay, then that's definitely wrong. She should definitely not be driving. Oh no!
Oh, so only Mr. Incredible can drive cars into water.
He uses his
That's
incredible
sexist.
powers to just... It's because women can't drive. Apparently.
That's legit sexist.
I know.
Gender roles!
Gender roles! Well, I'm happy they handled that relatively well.
Goodbye!
Thank you for watching.
Oh, yeah, and I guess subscribe to us if you like this
Please
bullshitting
do.
about a movie for 51 minutes.